to be on a holiday.
Get out there, Junior.
That's right. You see, when black men had to go to the field, it is that black mama that told her daughter, now you got to go to college and teach your brother in the night. So the black woman have taken the burden when the time was necessary. She's never backed up. And now when the black men getting money and deserting her, she still don't desert her children. So I got nothing but praise for her.
Okay.
See, one was my mother, one is my wife, 6 of them are my daughters, and I got umpteen granddaughters.
Not that comparison is necessary, but
yes.
Okay, just for the purpose of instructing. How would you say black women, okay, fit into this current women's lib thing?
She doesn't fit. Black women don't need to be liberated from her man. I mean, she doesn't need liberation in terms of work. You see, the liberation woman said that she has not been fulfilled in the work area. Man, black women have had to work morning, noon, and night. I mean, most of the time she's had to carry the household. And today, when the black man catching hell and got to run, she's got to take care of the family. So for her to talk about the women's liberation movement is a movement where women feel that they're not fulfilled. But look, black women is overfilled. So she doesn't need to go into that thing. That thing is for women who are frustrated about men. And I'm sure that the black woman isn't frustrated with her man yet. And I hope she never gets to that point. So it will damage her. I mean, what black woman, here they tell you, I don't need a man to help me cross the street. I hope black women ain't that stupid. If I was a black woman, a man want to help me through the street, that's extra help I got. And if you want to buy my food in the restaurant, that's money, I got more money in the bank. I hope I'm appealing to all black women not to let that nonsense to mess them up. See, a job is a different thing. If a black woman is working in a TV studio like you, she has a right to get the same salary doing the same job. Nobody's talking about that. But when you're talking about, you know, you got to liberate yourself from your man, you got a big fight with the man, and I'm the same like the man, well, then we should go in the same toilet at the same time. We should go use the same underwears, you know, with the frittles and so forth. You know, let's put it down where it is.
I guess my question is, really was, historically, what differences do you see between the kinds of role white women have played and the kinds of roles black women have played?
Totally two different roles altogether. White women have been up there on the top with her man. It's just that he has kept her down one notch, but she's still over the black woman. She's over the black man. And the black man had been over the black woman in status. But the point is this, that historically, now what they have been doing is that they now could use the black woman to club the black woman, the white woman. Because if you hire a black woman, you also got a minority, and you got, so that the white woman can't get the job either. So you satisfy two different things with the black woman now. So that they're using her as the club in the reverse. And all of these different kinds of things.
Okay, let's get back to, you got, okay.
Yeah, I've got a question relative to religion, getting back to the subject of religion.
Well, let me cut you a minute. Let me cut you a minute. Okay. For many people, the relationship between Arabs and Africans is confusing. Would you give us an historical view of the relationship between the Arabs and Africans?
The Arabs came to Africa, no doubt, as slave masters even before the Europeans. Came in 640 with the jihads. The Africans know that history. The Africans aren't stupid about it. The Europeans came in 1506 as slave masters. But what has happened since that time to now is that the Arabs were equally colonized like the Africans by the same colonizers. Now, the Arabs then and the Africans found it mutual to their benefit for a coalition with each other because they have a common enemy. Their previous colonial masters that just leaving, and there's neo-colonialism still going on, is the Westerner, whether he's Christian, Jewish, atheist, or what. He is a Westerner that have just had both of them in colonial holding. So that the coalition being made by the Africans and the Arabs, the Africans isn't stupid to know that the Arabs are still controlling North Africa as a conqueror. But for the time being, the African is going to deal with him eventually on that issue. But they both have to deal with the European as the conqueror, because he's the prevailing conqueror. If a man got a penknife to my throat, and another man is coming with a machine gun 2 blocks away, I'm dealing with a penknife. It's right up against my throat. And maybe the machine gun may jam. But, you see, I got to get the penknife away before I could deal with the machine gun. First thing first. And so the Africans have no choice but to deal with the Arabs as a better friend than he could deal with the West right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Aside from the status of conqueror and conquering, what are some of the reasons for the so-called appeal of and the spread of Islam in some of the African countries?
Well, the spread of Islam will go on now because the frustration of European Christianity, the lies that the missionaries brought, the behavior of the missionaries as missionaries, the missionaries coming with forked tongue, first of all saying that they had a different Christianity when Christianity came from Africa and Asia with Pantheist and Boethius. The whole Jesus had never been in Europe once. He was in Africa and Asia. That's where he teach according to even Christian teachings. And all of these, the fact that Christianity have been aligned with the colonial powers and still is aligned. Christianity is what motivates South Africa. They're Calvinists. Huh? And Judaism in South Africa, the Jews of South Africa are no different in behaving than the Christians in South Africa. They don't behave as Jews or Christians, they behave as whites. So that the hypocrisy of Christianity in Africa has made many Africans go over to try Islam, since Islam is a power force. They're not joining Islam for love, but you're joining for a power force. Islam equally represents oil. You get what I'm saying? See, we're not talking about love affair with religion. See, religion is a tool. And instead of, the Africans realize you got to use religion rather than let it use you. So that the new power base, religiously, is no longer Christianity, which the Africans had to join if you want to eat, because the missionaries weren't going to let them eat. Since capitalism and Christianity was the same thing in West Africa as Islam and Christianity, power is the same in East Africa and in North Africa. And that's the whole fact. You see, people want to mess, religion is something pure dropping out the sky. Religion is made by men, to use by men.
What is the traditional African religion?
Oh, they got all kinds. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are outgrowth of the traditional African religion. But what you probably mean is like the Yoruba religion from West Africa with the god Olodumare, the Kenyan religion, what you call it, Agikuyu religion with the god Ngai, the South African religion with the god Unkulunkulu, the West African religion with the god Vodum, and so that and these are religions with millions upon millions of followers. Just as good as Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. There's no such thing as a bad religion and a good religion. There's no such thing as a good God and a bad God. All gods are the same for the people who use that God.
Okay. Could you tell me, in terms of a Western Christian religion, it speaks of a gap in its history in the life of Christ between the age of 12 and age 30. Can you tell me, do you know anything about what happened during that interim period?
Yes, you can read the Aquarian Gospel, and it gives you the life of Jesus from age 12 to 30, to 33. The reason that those books got lost, they cut out the sex life of Jesus, his role with Martha, his girlfriend, and Magdalene. They cut out his normal life. And you could also find the 18 books that were taken out of the Bible, the so-called lost books of the Bible. They're not lost. You could get them from World Publishing Company. But there's another thing they had to do. The story of Jesus is a second-hand story. There's a story that the Africans of Egypt and Ethiopia and Nubia had of Isis, who became pregnant by an immaculate conception, gave birth to her child, Horus, by a virgin birth 4,000 years before the Mary Jesus story. It's nothing but a copy. This thing, you can go to, right now, to, as a matter of fact, you can go in the Book of the Dead, you could go in the gods of, there's a book called Isis and Osiris. You can go to the temple of Edfu, it's called the Temple of Horus at Edfu in Egypt, and see it. You could go to the temple of Setaiwan in Abydos, and it's all over the world, walls. This thing about Jesus is not new. Jesus is a copy of Horus. Everything said for Horus is said for Jesus, and it's 4,000 years. Let me just give you the Roman Catholic version. And they worship Mary before they worship Jesus. It was at the Nicene Conference that they stopped worshiping Mary and then worship her son.
What about the Nicene Conference?
The Nicene Conference was in 323 when Constantine, the Roman emperor, ordered 219 bishops to a place called Nicaea to discuss. They were arguing against each other, killing each other, literally killing each other. And at that conference, they killed a bishop by the name of Athanasius, who refused to accept any virgin birth thing. The Roman Catholics still say the thing they used to say about Isis, Holy Mary, Mother of God, blessed are the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Now, if you look at Isis and Horus, you see Osiris mating with a hawk, which carries the sperm into Isis to create the Immaculate Conception. The Christians got a same bird called an angel who take it from God, Jehovah, and carry it into Mary. Same story, change the names. But you can't say this because these, if they went to the seminary, they know it, and they hypocritically tell the people in the seat in the congregation another thing. It's a rip-off on Saturdays and Sundays, that's all it is.
But this is not something that you're just creating. There's
I didn't write these. Look, I could tell you where to go see the works. I just tell you the oldest nation is in there, the temples. These things are in the temples in Egypt. You can get them in any good bookstore like Brentano's in New York. I don't know how good the bookstores here are, so I can't tell you about those. But you can go to Brentano, you could go to Doubleday, you can go to Barnes & Nobles in New York, or you could go to a place called Wisner Bookstore and get these books. You can get the Osiris, the God of the Resurrection. You could get the Book of the Dead. These are translated. Now, the original work is in hieroglyph, and then you see the English translation. Or, if you got a little bit of money, you can go on one of the tours in the summer or whatnot to Egypt and go into these temples, go into these tombs, and see the whole thing written there, plus pictures of the whole thing. And anybody that says that he has done his whole work, the saddest thing is to be in Egypt and see some people coming, going to Bethlehem, say they're going to the Holy Land, and to go to see the pyramids that the Jews built, and they didn't build one of those that they're looking at, because the pyramids that they go to look at are the 3 pyramids at Giza, and all of those pyramids was built before the first Jew was born.
Thank you. We'll come back again next week. Dr. Ben-Jochannan, thank you.